What makes India's population the largest in the world? India has a large population due to a combination of historical, social, economic, and biological factors. Below are some of the key reasons in detail. 1. Historical growth patterns, ancient civilization and agricultural revolution. India has been home to one of the world's oldest continuous civilizations, the Indus Valley Civilization, around 3300 BCE. Over thousands of years, agricultural practices became more advanced, allowing for a stable food supply, which supported population growth. Early population expansion. The population of India started growing significantly in the early medieval period due to improvements in agriculture, water management, and technology, which allowed more people to settle and thrive in urban centers and rural areas. 2. Fertility rates. High birth rate. India has traditionally had high fertility rates. Even though fertility rates have declined in recent decades, the fertility rate is still higher than in many Western countries. This is due to cultural factors, including early marriages and family structures that encourage having multiple children. Cultural preference for larger families. In many parts of India, particularly in rural areas, having larger families has been historically seen as a sign of prosperity. Additionally, in some communities, sons are preferred over daughters due to social, economic, and cultural reasons, which can influence the number of children families have. 3. Improved healthcare, decreased mortality rates, improvements in healthcare, sanitation, and nutrition in the 20th century led to a significant reduction in infant mortality rates and an increase in life expectancy. Vaccinations, antibiotics, and better public health measures have allowed more children to survive into adulthood and live longer lives. Advances in medicine. The expansion of healthcare facilities and access to better medical treatment has meant fewer deaths from disease, leading to population growth, especially in the last few decades. 4. Economic factors. Agrarian economy. India's economy has traditionally been agrarian, with rural areas having larger families to provide labor for farming. This has been especially true in the past, as larger families were needed to work on farms. Labor demand. The large population of India also serves as a source of labor for its growing economy. Industrialization and urbanization have attracted people to cities for work, further contributing to population growth. Poverty and family planning. In many parts of India, especially in rural areas, economic challenges mean that family planning and education about contraception may not always be accessible or prioritized. Lack of financial resources and education about birth control can lead to higher birth rates. 5. Youthful demographics. Large proportion of young people. India has a young population compared to many other countries. With a median age of about 28 years, a significant portion of the population is in the childbearing age, contributing to a higher number of births. This demographic trend contributes to continued population growth, as younger populations tend to have more children. Population momentum. The population of India is still growing due to the population momentum effect. Even with declining fertility rates, the large base of young people means that the number of births continues to outpace the number of deaths, resulting in steady population growth. 6. Limited access to family planning and education. Lack of awareness and education. In rural and remote areas of India, access to education and family planning services has been limited. While urban areas tend to have more access to contraception and family planning resources, rural areas, where the majority of India's population lives, may not always have this access. Limited awareness about reproductive health and contraception can lead to higher birth rates. Government initiatives. India has launched several family planning campaigns, but there have been challenges in terms of implementation, cultural resistance, and differing attitudes toward family planning, especially in conservative or rural regions. 7. Social and cultural norms, marriage customs. In many parts of India, it is culturally expected to marry at a young age and have children soon after marriage. This increases the number of childbearing years for individuals, leading to a higher number of children being born. Patriarchal society. In a patriarchal society, there is often social pressure to have children, especially male children, which can lead to larger families. Family size may also be influenced by religious beliefs or cultural norms that favor the continuation of family lineage. 8. Economic incentives to have more children. Dependence on children for support. In rural areas, children are often seen as future caretakers for elderly parents, particularly because the social safety nets such as pension systems or government support are less developed. This economic incentive to have more children can lead to higher birth rates. Inheritance and wealth distribution. In certain cultural contexts, having more children is seen as a way to distribute land, property, or wealth. Larger families may be preferred, especially in farming or agrarian communities. 9. Political factors. Government policies. Although the Indian government has undertaken efforts to reduce population growth through campaigns promoting family planning, the results have been uneven across different regions and communities. Some regions in India, especially those with conservative or religious leanings, have resisted government initiatives in this area. Reluctance in urban areas to adopt family planning. Despite urbanization, in some urban areas, there is a cultural reluctance to adopt family planning, often due to religious beliefs or societal expectations. 10. Migration patterns. Internal migration. India has experienced significant internal migration, with people moving from rural areas to urban centers in search of employment and better living standards. This migration contributes to the concentration of people in urban areas, but also drives up the overall population. International migration. Additionally, India has a large diaspora with millions of people of Indian origin living abroad. However, the population in India itself remains large due to continued high birth rates in the country. India's large population is the result of a complex interplay of historical, cultural, economic, and social factors. While there has been significant progress in reducing the birth rate and improving health outcomes, India's youthful demographic, along with cultural and economic factors, continue to drive population growth. The government has made strides in family planning and population control, but challenges remain in some areas. If you found the information helpful, feel free to like and subscribe to keep learning more. If you have more questions or need further clarification, just let me know.